Reddit has shown strong financial performance since its IPO in March 2024. They just reported another strong quarter, and they're continuing to be one of the fastest growing companies in the entire stock market. That said, even with the impressive financials, there are still serious concerns about Reddit's ability to stay competitive. The company's revenue isn't well diversified. About 98% of it comes from advertising, and with rising competition from platforms like Google Search and ChatGPT, some investors are questioning how sustainable Reddit's growth will be. But still, Reddit is growing at a very impressive rate. Here's my Excel sheet showing the main financial metrics I like to track. What really stands out is the revenue growth. Over the past 5 years, Reddit has averaged about 50% revenue growth per year, which is one of the highest rates that you'll see in the market. Now, it's unlikely that they'll keep growing at a rate that high, but even if that slows down to 20 or even 10% annually, that's still excellent growth for a company. What makes this revenue growth even more compelling is that Reddit just posted their third consecutive profitable quarter. And this combination of revenue growth this high, plus being a newly profitable company, has been the driver for some of the biggest stock market moves we've seen in the past, like Tesla in 2020 or Palantir in 2023. One thing to note is the big loss in quarter one of 2024. This was a one-time $500 million loss related to a stock vesting event from their IPO. It led to some temporary share dilution, but there are no similar events expected going forward, so it's not something to worry about in future quarters. Another key metric is ROIC, return on invested capital. Before the most recent earnings report, Reddit's ROIC was consistently negative. That suggested that they were pouring money into growth but hadn't yet seen strong returns. But after this quarter, they reported their first positive ROIC, which is a strong sign that their investments are finally paying off and profitability is likely to continue. Now looking at the chart, Reddit is about 50% down from its all-time high, and we have bullish divergences from the RSI and MACD on the daily time frame. This big drop we just had was aligned with the overall market sell-off around tariffs, but you might have been able to see it coming with these big bearish divergences on the RSI and MACD, especially when the RSI was getting rejected off of the 70 level, which usually indicates when the bearish divergence is about to start playing out. Now, in terms of building a position, I always use limit orders. That way I can accumulate shares as the stock dips. For Reddit, I'm placing limit orders across a wide price range all the way down to $80, just in case we see a double bottom, which might seem unlikely, but remember Reddit's PE ratio is well over 100, so it shouldn't be that unexpected if it drops further. And while I don't expect it to revisit those lows, market corrections can surprise you, and if it does dip, I want to be buying. Given Reddit's strong growth and recent profitability, I have been buying above 100 and 110 just to make sure I have a strong base position. And during the April dip, my orders down to $80 were also getting filled. Now looking at the fib levels, I think we could see Reddit go to the 1.6 or 2.6 levels based off of its strong growth rate. This would put the stock at around $300 to $500 for about a 3x to 5x return, which I think it could do in under the next 5 years. So we'll see where the broader market and Reddit go from here, but whether it moves up or down, in the short term, I'm hoping more of my limit orders get filled because I'm targeting a $300 to $500 share price for Reddit within the next 5 years, and possibly even more if the market gets frothy as it tends to do so every now and then.